She ran away from home, pregnant and alone. Hi guys, welcome to another video. So excited you could make it. This is part 2, the continuing story between Sarai and Hagar. So if you haven't watched my last video, go ahead and find that. I can try to attach the link also in the description so you don't have to go searching for it, but I can also give you a little description on what happened previously. Sarai is barren, so Sarai can't have kids. Sarai told Abram, her husband, to give her her servant Hagar, an Egyptian woman, as a wife, basically, to have kids for him. And that's what he does. So Hagar is pregnant, looks down upon Sarai. Sarai gets annoyed, starts treating her badly. Hagar runs away. So this is where we're picking up. Hagar is now on the run away from Sarai, her crazy mistress who forced this all upon her. So now she's pregnant and alone. And interesting thing is her name means flight and forsaken. How interesting is that? A lot of times names in the Bible, if you look them up and search them, the meaning really correlates with what happens in their life or what is happening in their life. And a lot of times parents will name their kids either based on what God tells them to name them, because God knows what is going to happen with their lifetime, or something that has happened in the parent's life and they name their child off of it. So Hagar means flight and forsaken. And I think that's really interesting because at this point, she is taking flight. She's running away from the situation and she feels forsaken. And yet God does not forsake her. So an angel comes to her near a spring of water. Thankfully, she found water, apparently. So she's doing okay. And the angel comes up to her and he asks her, "Where are you from? Where are you going?" And she tells him, she's like, "I'm running away from my mistress." And I don't know if she knows where she's going. But he's like, "Go back to your mistress, obey her, and your seed is going to be multiplied beyond count. And you need to call him Ishmael." This is really interesting because I think this also connects with when God had promised Abram that he is going to bless his lineage. Even though this is a separate lineage in a sense than God was talking about Isaac, but he still blesses Abram's lineage, no matter how it happens. And so he blesses Hagar's line. And there's a promise in that as well. God keeps his promises. Now, God still has the promise that, I don't want to give you the secrets, but here's a plot twist. Isaac is going to be happening soon. I don't know if you know the Bible personally or not, but that's going to be happening soon. So anyway, he tells Hagar to go back. So Hagar goes back and she again starts living with Sarai. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read the passage, but I will let you know that Hagar and Ishmael, her son, is going to pop up pretty soon here in the next few chapters. So keep that name in mind, and Ishmael, because we're also going to see how Ishmael's line and people connected to him and his children and children's children is connected in the Bible as well, and what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and read this chapter. So then Sarai dealt harshly with her and she fled from her. So this is in Genesis 16, starting at verse 7. The angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, the spring on the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, servant of Sarai, where have you come from and where are you going? It's interesting, though, that he says servant of Sarai, like he already knows, but I think God likes to sometimes ask questions to probe our hearts and make us really think and make us contemplate what really is going on in our hearts. She said, I'm fleeing from my mistress Sarai. The angel of the Lord said to her, return to your mistress and submit to her. The angel of the Lord also said to her, I will surely multiply your offspring so that they cannot be numbered by multitude. And the angel of the Lord said to her, behold, you are pregnant and shall bear a son. You shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has listened to your afflictions. He shall be a wild donkey of a man, his hand against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he shall dwell over against all his kinsmen. Ooh. So there's still some drama and warring that is connected with his name, though, too. So she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her, you are a God of seeing. I think that's beautiful. First she said, truly here I have seen him who looks after me. Therefore the well was called Bir Lahairoi. It lies between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram called the name of his son, whom Hagar bore, Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abram. Wow, there's so many meanings in these names. Because the Lord has listened to your afflictions. Now, I think that's beautiful also how she calls him, you are a God of seeing. I think that's beautiful because it's true. God sees everything that's going on in our lives. Whether we think it's big or small, it's all the same to God. He sees every little detail of our life, and he is involved in all of it. Even though Hagar may be a small portion, maybe a little person in the Bible, she's not a little person in God's eyes. She's someone who is about to bear a child, is in need of help, doesn't know what to do, where to go, and God sends an angel and is like, listen, I'm here. Even though Sarai doesn't care for you, Abram doesn't really care for you, I care for you. Go back. I'm going to multiply your seed, and I'm going to do things through your seed that you're not expecting, and he's going to be Ishmael. So anyway, guys, this is another short video, but that was part 2 of the drama between Sarai, Hagar, and Abram. And Hagar kind of just got in the middle of all this, and yet God is still able to use all of this for his glory. So stay tuned in the next chapter. We're going to dive deeper into what's going on with Abram and Sarai because they still can't have children, but God has given them a promise, and we're going to see that played out pretty soon here. Love you guys, and stay tuned. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell, and we'll see you next time.